What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 7 different Grayscale trusts today, and we'll be going over a ETF as well. HZEN for Chad Shee, ZCSH for Space Cadet, BCHG and LTCN for Grandview Stalls, GSOL and FileG for Blank C, ETCG for Koyo Misfigures, and IBIT for Bubbles. That's what we're doing. I threw IBIT in here because there's no other video that it would fit in. I didn't put it in the stock video because it was not crypto related stocks. This is the closest thing to crypto related stocks. I mean, are these stocks or are they trusts? Is it the same thing? Does it matter? Whatever. You trade them on the stock market. But anyways, HZEN, let's get started with this here. $7.60 already. Wow. You went up to 1045. Look at that. You found resistance at 1045, right? Psychological resistance at that $10 area, right? Makes sense. Kind of makes sense. You were very hot on your RSI. How high was that? Wow. 96, bro. Very hot. Very, very, very hot. I would say it's not common, but crypto seems to be handing them out this past couple weeks. 886 hit. Beautiful. 786 support, huh? Potentially, not confirmed with that day. I would think you pull back lower, but to be fair, if you close above the 886, if you can close above that, that's essentially like at $10 and what is it? $10.17. If you can close a day above there, you guys, you're moving up phenomenally higher in a phenomenally short amount of time. Like at least you're gonna move up to like 16 bucks, 15.50. But right from where you are now, that's essentially a 100% growth if you can close above 10.17 on a daily, let alone a weekly or anything like that. Until then, I'm inclined to believe that you'll move back to 483 or 367, and that's a big drop from here. Don't get me wrong, but you've moved up a lot, kind of unchecked. It makes sense to pull back. If we were to take this relative low to the relative high, 236 is right there in that 618 area, 69 area. 382 is a little bit lower. You might not see that 382 being hit. You might not. That might be like a scam wick. Maybe we should take it from here. Still below. I don't know. Lower nonetheless. I bet you go below $5. But if you close above 10.17, man, I would happily be wrong. It looks bullish. It does look very bullish, but just call it intuition or bias opinion. I don't know. You moved up a lot. You deserve to take a break. That's really my thoughts on it. And you could pull all the way back to your 0.5. I doubt it, but probably 367 to 483. That's what I'm looking for now. Again, unless you close above 1017. Let's look at Zen real quick. Probably do a quick little look at all the cryptos as well. I mean, okay, guys. Okay. All right. Things might be different for HZEN because this looks like it's just getting started. This looks like it's just getting started. Like don't get me wrong, you could pull back and find support here at your breakout point, an area that you found support before and resistance before. You could pull back to 1372. You're at 1528 right now. You could pull back a little bit, and that might, because Zen's moved up so much, there's so little liquidity, that could cause a pretty big drop, where this thing only drops like 10%. HZEN could drop 30%, 40%, 50%. It could drop a lot in a very short amount of time, but soon, and like maybe even immediately, you're looking like you want to move up to 20 bucks, potentially 32 bucks, potentially 49 bucks. You're at $15 now. Like any and all of those would cause HZEN to go nuts. It's already gone nuts. The daily, the weekly, it all looks good. This day so far doesn't look good. It doesn't look like it's off to a good start, but I mean, it all looks good to me, man. I don't know. I'm having a hard time being bearish on HZEN with this chart looking the way it does. Again, if anything, maybe you see a momentary pullback for Zen, and that could cause a cascade of selling for this because there's probably a lot less liquidity. But man, this thing wants to go higher. This thing wants to go a lot higher. Like you guys, it's at 760. Before the halving, it could be at $44. It could be higher than that. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing that. That's not financial advice, but this is ridiculous, you guys. I don't know. On the counter to that, you can see ZEN move up and HZEN move down. The trusts are pretty correlated, but they're not 100% correlated. So you could see this move down while the underlying asset moves up. We've seen that in a few other trusts, so just keep that in mind. But I'm bearish on HZEN temporarily, but I'm bullish on ZEN. So that to me trumps my bearishness on HZEN, honestly, if that makes any sense. I'm going to use this. Ooh, hold on, let's see. All right. Zcash, I did an analysis earlier, so I'm not going to do it on this one, but I did think Zcash looked bullish. I think it looks like it wants to go up. If it moves down, it's going to be by a small amount, but it looks like it wants to move up more. And ZCSH looks like it wants to go as well, guys. Probably wants to go up to its 786 at about 10 bucks, 13 bucks, somewhere in that range. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good to me. If it pulls back, I mean, this might have been the pullback already, and then it moves up tomorrow. Or it could pull back to 684. You're at about $8 now, so it could pull back to like 680, 675, somewhere in there. But inevitably, I think you're moving up to $10 to $13 soon, like potentially by the end of this week. Yeah, looks good to me, man. ZCSH. BCHG, and again, the only reason I'm not doing the analysis for Zcash is I did it on another video, so I can just shorten it by saying Zcash looks bullish. So, and ZCSH looks bullish as well. BCHG doing bullish things. It was looking like I was right in the beginning of the day, wasn't it? It was down like 4%. Now it's down 1%, a little bit of a recovery. When I say I was right, I mean yesterday I was saying that this could have been the top. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but also I do think I said that it could go higher first. It could, but I'm still leaning toward that. Even with this recovery of today, you're still down 1%, whatever. This very well could be your top zone. If you move up, you're going to move up a little bit higher, but I am under the assumption that you move lower first, which is fine, right? It's not a big deal. Anybody looking to buy some can buy some. You could maybe move up to 1136, but I would think you at least move back to 781, if not potentially all the way back down to like 430, 450, somewhere in that area. You might not have to hit your 0.5. After all, right, you hit your 0.5 here and you didn't hit your 382. You held above that, so maybe you hold this area here for like resistance or support, 620. Maybe you do go to your 0.5 where you had support several times before and resistance here. Maybe you do pull all the way back to 430. But somewhere between, I would say, at the high point, I would say 781 at the high point, maybe $7. If not, all the way down at 430, something like that would be my guess for BCHG. Little bit of bearish divergence. Yeah, this continues to persist. Double bearish divergence, decreasing volume. If you were to move up, even if you moved up from here, you would still likely get another drive. That'd be triple bearish divergence. So if you move up from here, if you do move up to that $11 area, 1140 area, that'll be it. That'll probably be it. So if that's not the top, you're very close to it, and soon you will see some drawback, and that's okay. That's healthy. We want that. We don't want to just, I mean, we want to move up in a straight line forever. It doesn't happen. And odds are that kind of movement just straight up, it's not sustainable. It's definitely not sustainable. But also, I mean, beyond that, after this pullback, you're in a range right now where you move like straight down. So you guys, you're going to make a move over the weeks, over the months. You're going to be moving up to $20, $42. Very, like, this could happen by June. It could happen by the halving, that you could move up, literally be near your all-time high prices, because my reasoning for that, again, is you just basically moved straight down here. There's nothing in your way, really, until you get to here. Until you get to, come on, right there. Until you get to about $18, okay? So, and at that's like the low point of this range. Generally, if you break through this, if you find resistance, okay, then maybe it takes a little bit more time, and you might find resistance there. But if you break through this, likely you would go at least to like here, if not toward the top of the range, which would be up here. And I mean, that's $42 to $55, man. Like, anywhere and everywhere in between, this like whole big range is what you're setting your eyes on, because again, you're already at the point where you're in no man's land. it wouldn't really make sense. Like, sure, you stop here. There's a little bit of support here, kind of in this area. Okay, sure. You go up a little bit higher, right, around 1140. Maybe you check back for a little bit, but over the weeks, over the months to come, like the next 2 months, I would think you're making strides toward $20, $40, $50. Like, guys, this is going to move up fast in a very, very short amount of time. I forget who it was. I think it was a Bitler. I think it was a Bitler. If not, I'm sorry if I'm giving credit to the wrong person, but I think you were saying how G-Scale was planning on adding more LTC. You didn't say BCH, but they're planning on adding more LTC to the trust. So BCHG, I know that it was part of the private sales, the private placements, but it wasn't. It was like out of all the private placements, it was the one that was like the least in the premium. So in my opinion, it would be the least attractive for private placements. But you said that they didn't even have that much volume in private placements, and that and I'm just taking his word for it. I haven't done any research on this myself, but you've given me some input on several different things, a Bitler. So I trust your opinion. If it's not a Bitler, if it's somebody else, I'm still trusting your opinion, I guess. But if there's not a lot bought, there's not going to be that much share dilution for LTCN. And they're planning on adding LTC to their trust. So that'll help with the dilution in itself. You'll see that ratio balance out. So hopefully that doesn't hinder prices too much. I still expect you guys sometime in August, regardless of the amount of private placements or not in volume, I would expect sometime in August when those are unlocked, you will see a selling off probably. But I would also expect that going into that, you would see a pump. You would see a pump leading into that, and then once it sells, then once it opens up, it sells off. That's kind of my expectation. But also something else to consider. I know we're talking. I was just talking about LTCN, but BCHG, I feel like I already gave my analysis on. It could move down a little bit first. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but if not, it moves up a little bit to like 1140, and then down again, probably around. I mean, anywhere from what was it, like $7 to like six something. What was it? I forget what it was. We'll go back over it real quick. $7.81, $7, maybe all the way down to about $4.30. That's right. That's what I was saying. But what was I just about to say whenever I backtracked to this? Oh yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. So if you got private placements, you got people with big bags, right? Maybe they bought a small amount, but they have, they've got more money than most people do, right? You have to be a private, to be a, what is it, an accredited investor, you have to have multiple millions of dollars at your disposal, or like to your net worth or whatever, or like have a company or be a part of an entity that has a larger denomination or whatever. But at that point in August, they'd be holding it for 6 months. If people are interested in buying these Grayscale trusts, they probably know a little bit about crypto already, right? So being that you're already 6 months into holding, and it's in August, let's say like August, September, however long it is until these things are unlocked, would you assume? I would assume that these guys know that the bull market's probably not going to end at that time. It probably has a whole nother year to go, probably. Maybe not for the Grayscale trust, but for most of the cryptos, and at least I would say more than 6 months. Well, what I'm getting at is, do you think that they would sell there and take the short-term capital gains tax, or would they hold potentially and try to get the long-term capital gains tax? They've already been required to hold for 6 months. They're already halfway there. Like, sure, it's unlocked, you could sell it, but you're gonna have to pay capital gains, And being in August, you're already in Q3, you're already toward the end of the year. Maybe wait a little bit. Maybe you sell in January of the following year. You don't even go for the long-term capital gains, but then at least you have a whole nother year to build up more money in your portfolio to pay off the taxes from your capital gains sales. But I don't know. It's just a thought. I'm just saying, like me personally, I can plan on selling something, but as I get closer to that like long-term capital gains area, I'm more prone to holding for a whole year, in my personal experience. But I'm not an accredited investor, soon enough, but not an accredited investor at this point in time. So who am I to say what they think? But generally, when you're dealing with larger amounts of money, you want that tax break. So that's just a thought that I'm going with there. Anyways, that's BCHG. Let's talk about BCH real quick to kind of go in with this. So yeah, BCH, man, it's consolidating right now. I think it looks bullish as hell. I think it has a lot more to go. It's just taking its time. Maybe it consolidates for another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. Maybe it's done consolidating and it moves up this week. I don't know. But if it consolidates more and gives this RSI a chance to cool down and get out of the overbought zone, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't be upset with that at all. But inevitably, you guys know where I think this is going. We're going to go up to $660 to $900, somewhere around here, if not somewhere around here. Anywhere and everywhere in this little like boxed area is where I think we're going soon. You know, probably, I would think probably by the end of April. So if we're consolidating now, sure, that's fine. That's okay, whatever. In that time of consolidation, we could see BCHG drop a little bit. But I'm bullish as hell on BCH, man. Very, very bullish. I like the daily RSI. It looks like it could stand to come down a little bit, and you would still hold this higher low trajectory. So you could come down a little bit and then go up. You know, that's okay. Weekly RSI, same kind of idea. I mean, you could come down a lot more and still hold this kind of like trajectory. So, yeah, I'm not even bearish on it if it goes down, man. It's fine. I doubt it goes below 345. I do doubt it goes below this low. But we're at 437 now. Absolutely, we could go back to 380. We could go back to, I mean, I don't think we're going to go that low. We could go below. I know I just said we couldn't. We probably don't go below that low. I don't think we do. But if we were to go below that low, we could hold that like 330 area. We could. But I'm kind of under the interpretation that we don't even go back down there. Looking at the 4 hour, it's very neutral. It's kind of hard to say. It's being a tease. None of these shorter term RSIs are helping. So if anything, I would say it looks like it wants to go down a little bit. Maybe we go back below 400 a little bit, but I doubt we go below that low. But inevitably, over the weeks, maybe it's sometime later this week, maybe it's in 3 weeks from now, I would expect that we can continue this move up, and that would take us anywhere again from $660 to $900, and that would probably be good for BCHG. Probably very much be good for BCHG. Better for BCHG than it is for BCH. But in that time of consolidation, figuring things out, we could see BCHG cool off a little bit as well. So that's that. Anyways, next, LTCN. Very, very bullish. One of the more bullish charts in crypto, man. Like, let's be real. It's a very bullish look. Parabolic looks, you can't go wrong, and it's not even vertical yet. I mean, it doesn't, technically you don't have to get vertical for you to end it. You could end it now. You could end this parabolic look now and move all the way down. By the way, just so you guys know, when it comes to parabolas in charts, generally speaking, like with a pretty high degree of probability, when you break the parabola, oh, I wasn't drawing, sorry, here we go. Whenever you form it, okay, they only get more intense as you go up. So you could move up really intense and then move down really intense and then move up really intense and then move down. You know, like you can see extreme highs and lows, like pumps and dumps in parabolas. But whenever it breaks, whenever it inevitably breaks, you see a pretty big crash, a pretty substantial crash. So be prepared for that if and when that time comes. You know, the best case scenario would be that you break out of it and you just high and tight consolidate sideways for a bit, bore people out, and then you move up higher after that. But I would expect that you would see some kind of significant crash at some point, but not anywhere here. I think this parabola probably continues all the way up until like $120, maybe even up to like $220, maybe even higher, who knows. But it's a very bullish look, okay? Double bottom to boot, accumulation phase with this parabolic look. It's a very nice structure. I like the weekly RSI. Everything about it looks great. On the daily, you did pull back a little bit. You actually closed today 1% in the red as well. LTC is anything but faithful to like its design in the charts. You get a bearish engulfing candle here with like a top look, and then boom, you stop moving down, you move sideways, and then you move up. Let's see if we can find something else that kind of like mimics, I don't know. Some of these are pretty true to their nature, I suppose. I don't know. Bearish engulfing, big, I don't know. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is just because it looks like this doesn't mean it has to go up phenomenally higher is really what I'm trying to get to. But you are a little bit in your overbought zone. I would think you stand to go higher. Let's look at your relative fib here from this top to bottom. 1272 hit, a little bit of a rejection, but you pulled back actually. Okay, that's 2 days in a row closing below it. If you move higher, you could go as high as 3140. You're at 23 now, so that's decent gains in a very short amount of time. That could happen by the end of this week or by the end of next week, that you would do that. You know, Litecoin or LTCN likes to move fast, but closing below the 1272, being in this area for 2 days now, I'm kind of under the impression that you'd move back to like 1880, if not 1710, somewhere around there, form a higher low and then move up more. You know, regardless of what you do, you're going to break this line inevitably. But is it right now? Is it maybe next week? That's a question to be had. I'm not too confident on it either way. I do like the 3-hour RSI. I do like the 1-hour RSI, and I do like the daily RSI as well. So generally speaking, I would probably be bearish with this kind of look, but I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling like 2650, maybe even 3140, but that sounds a bit ridiculous for the amount of like movement that you've seen, especially with Litecoin kind of not looking as bullish as it was. Like, I think you've seen the majority of this move already, so I'm going to stick with 2650 being the target, but you absolutely could move up to 3140, and then from there you probably pull back. If you go up to here, you probably do go back to this 100, if not the 886 area, somewhere in here. If you pull up to the 1618, maybe you do find support at your 1272, and then you go up from there. Let's look at LTC. Look at LTC. So if that wasn't confusing enough, I think LTCN looks good for more immediate continuation up, but you're due for a little bit of a correction at some point. Probably that would take you below $20, probably below $19 even, but I think you have more upside to go first. LTC looking good, actually, guys. That's a nice look. That is actually a pretty damn nice look. I like that a lot. You know, you topped off here, but I mean, you found support. It's not confirmed. It just happened, but you did bounce right off of previous areas of resistance, which you just broke, which that in itself is a nice look. Top to bottom, 1272, 1414 hit. Tipped the 886. How many times? I know you guys watch the channel for a while, right? How many times have I talked about this exact scenario? How many times have we pointed it out where it happens? This is a really good look. So even more fuel to the fire for LTCN. If you pull down on LTC, you're at 98. I doubt you go below $92. I doubt you do. So really what you want to do in the short term is move up to like 112. I would call this a hit on your 1414. You didn't technically hit it, but I would call this a hit. So logistically speaking, I would think the next fib, your 1618, is the area to go to. So that's at 112. You're at $98. So we'll see you at 112, probably even higher than that. You could go up to 134. Though that 112 area is at the top right here of this kind of area. So maybe you do, I don't know. 134 is like the top of this range as well. That is a pretty small fib extension. I don't know. Let's look at the greater one. Let's just see. Top. Yes. Nope, that's not the top. It's the opening. Top to bottom. And you hit your 886 there. That's kind of funny. You found support on your 886 yesterday, and then this week you found resistance on your 886. Different fibs. Yeah, 138, man. That number showed up again. $134, $138, yeah, somewhere up there. I bet you are working your way up there, honestly. Makes sense to me, man. I think so, yeah. Yeah, 138, 176. Probably that 138 to 153 area with a heavy inclination at that heavy, maybe not inclination, maybe inclination, but like a heavy emphasis. That's what I'm looking for on that 138 area, 139 area. Yeah, looks good, man. Looks like it wants to move up. Any downside from here? I think you've already seen it. So I'd say any downside from here will be not as low as this, just like a higher low. And you might not move up today immediately. You might. I mean, who knows? Tomorrow we might see prices above 120. Maybe. I say tomorrow, today, just later in the day. Maybe you consolidate here for like the rest of the week, and then you move up sometime next week. I don't know, but soon. You look like you want to move up near that 130, 140 area. So looking good. And that would be good for LTCN as well. GSOL, Grayscale, Solana. Dump, bro. Hell of a dump. Good job. Look at you go. Oh, man. And you did it perfectly too, didn't you? Very good. Bearish divergence, right? Lower highs, higher highs. And you pulled back literally like right to where the divergence formed. That was it, man. I think that was it, Solana. GSOL, I think that was it. Anybody? I know I had a few of you question. You're like, is this bad? Is it over? I don't think so. I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. Totally fine, man. Solana looks like it wants to keep going up. So isn't this crazy, right? It dropped 53% this week. If you look at Solana, Solana's up 3% this week. Like what? You know what I mean? Like just to back to the HZEN and ZEN thing. ZEN is looking bullish, but HZEN could pull back. It really could. But inevitably, just like this is inevitably, I think Solana wants to continue to go up, so this will recover. You will definitely see, I think, higher highs than this in a very short amount of time. Really, I mean, if you're looking at it on an RSI perspective, you're at an area that you found support several times already. You could go lower. You could go lower first, but I doubt it. I think that was your low, man. I really do. It's a nice recovery. That's a big wick, man. Look at this. Look at this right here, right? Daily low close on your RSI. That's your like last notable low. Lower low, higher low. Hidden bullish divergence. That's good for continuation in an uptrend. Continuation means higher lows and higher highs. You just formed your higher low, so you're going to continue to a higher high, probably. Let's see what you've done throughout this thing's kind of time here. That's not where I wanted it to be. Come on, there we go. 1272 hit, 1886 area hit, okay. 1618 respect, yeah, nice, I like it. All right. It's a big drop though, man. You like that 2886, don't you? On these smaller ones though, this is a bigger one, so I'm going to stick with it. I do think you're going to see extensions, guys. Soon. And I mean, I say soon. On a daily perspective, each time you've seen these kind of movements down, you have kind of consolidated for a little bit. You know, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even next week, maybe next week. I don't know. It's probably more dependent on Solana than it is GSOL, but you're at 251, guys. This thing wants to go to $800 to $1,200 soon. Probably before the Bitcoin halving. Probably, if not before, right around the time of the Bitcoin halving. You'll be shedding this high and going up to $800 to $1,200. I think that was the low. I think that was it. I'm pretty confident in that. 3-hour RSI is a little concerning, I will say. 1-hour RSI is a little productive looking, but also could go lower at first. You know, if that's not the low, you could go a little bit lower, but just a little bit. I really do like that you, on a weekly basis, you kind of bounced right at the area that you formed this divergence at. So I don't know. I like it. I really do like it. It's an odd chart. It's a really weird looking chart. So I don't really know how reliable TA is going to be on this, but let's see. You look, man, you pulled back to your 1618. That 1886 being hit again. Dude, you pulled back to your 16. Yeah, I'm very confident that's the low. I take it back. There's zero chance you're going below that. No, maybe not zero chance, but guys, that is a really good look. 2272 up here at 875. That lines up so perfectly, man. I love that. I love it whenever you see stuff like this. This is why it pays off to take the time sometimes. Yeah, look at that, man. 1414, 1272. So odds are, guys, you're going to go above $900 probably. You're probably working your way up there now. And when I say working your way up there now, I don't mean that it's going to be like this, right? I don't mean that you're going to see this move starting right now. You're probably going to see something like this, and then like slowly but surely work your way up, you know. And maybe it doesn't take that long. That'd put you out in June. I mean, maybe it does take that long, though. I don't know. That kind of comes in line with this trajectory, I suppose. So maybe it is a couple months after the halving, or a month and a half after the halving. But soon, man, you're gonna be moving up there. Yeah, definitely pretty soon. You're working your way up there. And if you don't do this little sideways consolidation, you might see an extreme bounce. If Solana starts taking off, man, this will definitely follow suit with it. So I'm not concerned at all. I'm licking my lips down here, man. I've got my fork and knife ready. I've got the bib on, and I'm ready to eat. I hope you guys are too. So hopefully nobody got shaken out of this. It looks good. I did analysis on Solana earlier, so I'm not going to do it here, but it looks like it wants to continue higher, just a little bit higher. But a little bit can be a lot for the Grayscale Trust. So File G, Filecoin. Ooh, well, yeah, I don't know how to do TA on this one, man. This one, it's just so weird. I hate I don't like charts like this. I do not like charts like this. 93. Higher highs. Phenomenal growth in a short amount of time. You're probably going to pull back. I've probably been saying that for days now. I don't remember what I said, but I know myself. I probably have been bearish on this for days now. If I was bullish, then cool. I don't know how much fibs are going to help us here. You probably pull back from here. Standing by it. I would bet you're at 395, man. You could pull, you guys, this thing could pull all the way back to $100. It could do it in a day. It could do it in a day. It could do it in a week. Who knows how long it takes. I don't mean from here. I just mean whenever it decides to. Maybe it doesn't pull back to $100. Maybe it only goes to $200, but you're at about 400. Like it's due for a sizable correction, right? And it has no remorse. Like literally no remorse at all. It's just such a weird looking chart. I don't know how to do analysis on something like this. So maybe Filecoin. I actually did analysis on this one too, and I think, yeah, I was bearish on it. I'm not a big fan of the daily RSI, though. You do have hidden bullish divergence. You've kind of already completed that, though. Yeah, I think you probably do pull back a little bit. Oh, maybe I was bullish on it. Hold on now. Hold up. No, okay, yeah, you're at your 1618. You probably do go down a little bit, probably to like 942, if not back to 758. That would be my thoughts, yeah. So with that, you could see File G pulling back as well. That's the best that I can do. And for anybody that's saying, how come you're having a hard time doing analysis on this? Just look at this. Like, man, this is a weird chart. I wouldn't trust TA even if I could do TA on this. Like this is such a weird chart, man. Volume's dying off. You're moving higher. You moved up 12% today with some of the lesser volume that you've seen. I guess it's more. It's not like the lesser volume, but it's less than this stuff here. So I don't know. I think you move down. If you move up at all, it's going to be a little bit, and when you move down, it's going to be a lot. So anybody looking to buy some File G, you will probably find a ripe opportunity soon. And I very much would think you'd go below 200, but probably stay above 100. Here you are at about 400 now. So that's File G. Let's talk about ETCG, and then we'll talk about IBIT, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. I like ETCG. I do like that. Let's see. Let's see here. Somebody was saying that they're not at a premium, or like they're really close to their NAV price. I think that's what you said, right? Oh, they're below their NAV price. So somebody was saying that this was, they weren't saying that it was a good thing. I think they were questioning if it was a good thing. I forget who it was. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was you, Koyo Misfigures. Maybe it was you. But yeah, it's like one of the only Grayscale trusts, if not the only one, that's substantially on a discount right now. So that could be a good thing. It could be a good thing in the sense that you are at a discount. But maybe it's not a good thing. Like everything else is going up. What's wrong with this one? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you're trying to choose a car like let's say you're at your billionaire friend's house and he has 20 cars and you're there with him and 19 other of his friends, right? Or 18 other of his friends. And you go in the garage and there's one car left in the garage. Is that a good sign? Is that the best car? You know what I mean? Like that's all the other cars have left, all the other trains have taken off. Like it's probably still a nice car. Your billionaire friend owns it, but is it the best car? Like, you know, or is the best car the one that took off the fastest? Like that I don't know. I like to go and do analogies. I hope that makes sense, but that's my thoughts with this. I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing that the market price is so far below NAV price, but it is on a discount, which, hey, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It just makes me wonder why. Like, why? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you moving up? Let's do this actually. Let's look at the month. You're up 13%. Actually, let's see. Since October, you've moved up a total of 212%. ETC since October has moved up 154%, so, or 172%. So I mean, compared to what we've seen with a lot of these Grayscale trusts, that's really not that big of a difference, is it? Like at all? Kind of interesting. Up 28% this week or this month, and ETCG is only up 13% this month. Why? Like maybe it is lagging, man. Maybe like maybe it's the one. Like it's your last call. Maybe I'm using that analogy wrong, and maybe it's like this is your red eye. It's like I don't know. It's your last chance to take off to the skies, and it's waiting for you. But it's like your last call to get into a Grayscale trust. It's still on discount. I really don't know. I really don't have a good a genuine opinion as to why that is. I guess my genuine opinion is with my experience in markets, it's not a good thing normally when everything else in a sector is taking off except for you for several months, you know what I mean? And not that it hasn't been taken off. It's been doing well, but I'm a little bit surprised. The weekly RSI does look nice. It looks very constructive. I do like the weekly. I mean, and again, it's doing well for itself. Since October, it's moved up 200%. It's not any HZEN or File G. You know, it's not BCHG or LTCN. But I mean, hey, it's still doing well for itself. But let's do some analysis. Let's stop picking on it so much. Let's see, top to bottom here. Yeah, you look like you want to move up to your 618, 69, 25 to $32. You're at 17, so you might be seeing that growth that we're talking smack on here pretty soon, man. You might actually be seeing that pretty soon. So 618, 69 is where I think you're going. Let's see if this immediate fib extension area would line up with that as well. Top to bottom, 1272, 1414, beautiful, yeah. Yep, it all makes sense to me, man. You're going to 25, 32, maybe even $45 soon. Yeah. Yep. Was ETCG, you guys leave it in the comments if ETCG was one of the private placement. It wouldn't be though, would it? Because you'd be buying at NAV price at private placement. This is on discount, so why would you lock your coin up or your funds up to buy it at twice the price? I think it wants to go up higher. I do. You look good. Let's look at ETC real quick. ETC looks good too in my opinion. Yeah. A little bit higher at least. You know, I think you want to go, you're at 37 now, maybe up to 42, maybe up to 50, somewhere around there, a little bit higher. You probably find turbulence after that, but yeah, you look good for rather immediate continuation. You know, if we see a drop across the board with like Bitcoin and Ethereum itself, then that might hinder this from going, but for now I like it. Yeah. Ooh, I might take that back. That's a nasty looking 4 hour. It's not friendly at all. I take it back. Oh, I take it back. I like the higher lows with the flat top. I do like that. And the daily really doesn't look bad. I'm just not as convinced now, man. Maybe you move down a little bit. I doubt you go below this low, but you could move like as low as like $32. You're at 37. Maybe move down to 35 or 34. But I would happily be wrong. Get a 4 hour to close above 38.85 and you are moving up to those areas I was saying at first. If not, if you can't do that, you're likely going lower first is my thoughts. And just based off the 4 hour RSI, it looks like you want to see this oversold zone. Like you're in this very well pronounced downward channel. You're at the top of it. See you down there. That's my thoughts. So that's all the Grayscale Trust. Let's talk about IBIT and finish this bad boy up. Dun, 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 dun. Moving up, bro. It looks good. Yeah, bullish or bearish divergence though. And you had a red day today, so technically it is printed on there. It is not confirmed, but it is on there. You might pull back a little bit, which, I don't know, Bitcoin might go higher, man. Let's look at Bitcoin. I don't know, man. I think Bitcoin wants to go higher, guys. I think everyone and their mother sees this bearish divergence, and they're like, it's bearish divergence, it has to go down. And it's like, no, we're still getting regularly above average volume, so I think it does want to go higher, but probably doesn't break 80K. You know, our most recent high is at 73K, so it probably goes up to about like 75K, 74K, maybe 78K. I do think Bitcoin will turn down soon, but we're probably just climbing and clawing our way up until we can't sustain anymore, and then we'll drop out. Maybe it'll be that intense, maybe it'll be a lot less intense, I don't know. But with that, I would think IBIT does continue to grow. If Bitcoin's going up, IBIT's going to grow up. So yeah, I don't mind it. And that's the thing too, you do have the daily divergence, but you kind of pulled back near that area that you formed it. Kind of. Hold on. That was a big old sneeze, man. I don't know. Maybe you start the day red, you come back down to like $38, $39, and then you move up. I don't know. It looks good. If Bitcoin looks good, this looks good. So that's all I got to say. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Out of all of them, HZEN probably has me the most interested. HZEN and FileG, but they also, being that they've grown the most, they stand to lose the most. So if you are feeling the FOMO, if you're feeling the buy pressure to buy those coins or those Grayscale trusts, have a conversation with yourself. I love saying this. I go over this every time because it's very true. You should really have a conversation with yourself. If you're planning to buy highs, you should have a conversation with yourself saying, if I buy here and it drops 50% in a day, which like GSOL did, right? If it drops 50%, you better not panic sell, because it'll probably, if it sees that kind of flash crash, it'll probably be over just as fast as it started. Okay, it sucks that you didn't wait a day or a week or a couple weeks and you didn't get those lower prices. It sucks. I know that feeling, man. But if you just hold, if you just close your eyes for a month, it'll come back. You might even, after a week, maybe it's not at those same low prices that it dropped to. It might be like 20% higher, but it'll be lower than where you bought. You might have more funds. You're like, okay, you know what? I am confident in this thing. I'm going to put even more money in it. And now you got it at a discount. Now you're bringing your dollar cost average down, you know. So don't get shaken out, guys. Movements like this, I'm going to go back to GSOL just for that. I'm sure a lot of you guys left already because I stopped talking about the Grayscale Trust. But movements like this, man, they're there to scare you. And I know they scared some people. I know they did. I don't think you guys sold, but I know some of you, you know, I got a lot of kind of, I wouldn't even say panicked comments, just like kind of concerned comments, right? Which is good. I'm glad that nobody's panicking, but it's here to make you get shaken out. Look at how much volume came in right here, right? The biggest day in volume you've probably ever seen. Okay, not ever seen. Okay, not ever seen, but biggest day in volume you've seen since August of 2017. What? This is the daily. What happened? You went from August to May to 2023. What happened? What the hell? That's weird. August 2017. And then, oh, that's because that's not Solana. This exists before Solana exists. That's right. I don't know what's the purpose of that, but okay. So since GSOL's been a thing, this actually is the most volume you've ever seen. Because I'm fairly positive Solana did not exist back in 2017. I'm actually very positive in that. So it is the most volume you've ever seen, and it happens to be on a day where you drop phenomenally, you have a higher low in an upward sloping channel, and you have a bigger wick than you do a body. These are shakeouts. They're called shakeouts for a reason. They're meant to scare you. And it's scary, dude. It's, imagine you had like $100,000 in this thing, or $1,000, like whatever is a lot of money to you that you would hate to lose, and now it's worth 70% less. That hurts. That hurt. You're like, I should have taken profits. I knew it. I knew it on all these days. I should have done it. You're feeling that right now, but man, it'll come back. If you just hold your patience, you're gonna be like, I'm tough. I'm glad that I was tough. What's that one guy says? Tough times don't last, tough people do. And then he goes like, I'm not gonna do it, but if you guys know who I'm talking about, I don't know, man. He's weird, but it's a good quote. Tough times don't last, tough people do. He goes like, oh, I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. I said that HZEN and FileG looked the best potentially out of them right now, but GSOL might be the best one to get in, if not potentially ETCG even. But this one's on a massive discount, and this one probably has more liquidity than HZEN or FileG does. So seeing a massive discount, this makes me, I said it earlier, it's fork and knife in hand. I got my bib on, man. I would be ready to eat with something like this. This is prime time, finding support in key areas. Anyways, we already talked about GSOL. We already talked about all of this. So take care. Hit that like button. Seriously, do it. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Did you hit the like button? I can tell you. No. All right. Okay. All right. You better. If not, I'm not going to do any more Grayscale videos. Yeah, I need every single viewer to hit the like. Every single one of you. I will settle for no less than 90%. So, I don't know what to tell you. Hit that like button. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.